restricted number of tickets, but it is a packed house at St Helens, Swansea, and setting the scene there for us, Martin Williams and Eddie Butler.
Welcome to St Helens. One thing is for sure, that scoreboard will quite dramatically during the course of the next couple of hours. They've been streaming in from the east all afternoon, coming down the train loads and the M4 as well, packed with Neath supporters and of course Cardiff supporters who made the trip a little bit earlier in the day. Conditions, it's a bit blustery from the Mumbles end, the wind coming off the sea down towards the Guildhall end, but these fans won't mind about that. Underneath the stand it's a little bit chilly on the far side, of course. It's not exactly summery weather. Temporary stands all around, and it'll be a near capacity crowd, bearing in mind the 11,000 estimated total capacity of this ground because of the ticket allocation. Sitting alongside me, Eddie Butler. Eddie, two very evenly balanced sides. Anything could happen in this one.
Yes, indeed, and they're playing on by far the best playing surface in Wales. St Helens, with its sandy surface, is ideal for open running rugby, and I'm sure both sides are committed to giving us a spectacle today.
And how will Neath play it, you think? They play it any other way but that dynamic form that they have.
Yes, it's just a ferocious scampering game they'll play. I think one area they have a clear-cut advantage is in the back row, where they have Phil Pugh and Mark Jones, well known for their destructive qualities, and it'll be David Pickering who will be pitched against Gareth Roberts, chasing wide for that loose ball. Up till 2 months ago, most of Wales was criticising Cardiff for having lost their way, but all of a sudden they've re-established themselves with a solid front row and a pair of half-backs. The front row, all three internationals, and Alan Phillips will play a key role not only in the scrummage but also finding Robert Norster in the middle of the line-out.
St Helens then full of expectancy for this battle between Neath and Cardiff. Cardiff, 5 times winners of the Cup in the 80s, up against
Cardiff, as you can see, long dark shadows over this beautifully prepared green sward, and a crowd which is filling up in the higher regions of the stands. Perhaps it looks a little less populated down below, but two very keen sets of supporters here from Newbridge and Llanelli. Well, Phil Bennett, conditions couldn't be better for this match this afternoon, and two sides both eager to run the ball, as we've seen all season.
Yes, I think the conditions are absolutely superb. I've never seen the stadium in better condition, but I think there'll be a lot of tension early on. Newbridge will want to settle down, get some points on the board, but then I think if they can relax and express themselves, we've got two great sets of backs there, and let's hope we can see some sparkling rugby.
Well, here's the Llanelli side, absolutely brimming with talent. 9 international caps, 5 in the pack, 4 in the backs. The very sparkling partnership at half-back between Jonathan Griffiths and Colin Stevens, of which so much is expected. Phil Davis will lead the side at number 8. Newbridge, they've had a marvellous season this year, playing 15-man rugby under coaches Paul Evans and Clive Davis. Paul Turner captains the side, a very slick set of backs, and a pack which is mobile in every aspect. Hemi Taylor at number 8 is the man to watch. Phil Davis just preparing to lead his side out of the changing rooms. And Phil Davis, one of the unluckiest men in British rugby not to be named on the British Lions team to go to Australia. A man with a wealth of experience, 21 caps for Wales, and a mountain of a role he's got to play this afternoon. The stadium waits. Does look a bit strange on that far side, the north terrace, with just a handful of people in there, but above them, of course, the stand full. Phil Davis. Steve Bowling behind him. Anxious, nervous, tense moments in the tunnel before the cup holders take to the national ground. And Llanelli are out on the stadium, and Newbridge go as well. A great moment for Paul Turner and his men in this, their centenary season. Paul Turner, who has capped this season for Wales, came on as a replacement against Ireland and picked up caps against France and England. Phil Davis, Paul Turner's opposite number, the number 8, 18 stone, and a great leader of Llanelli in this, his second season as captain. the two sides will stand and line up for a minute's silence in respect to the death of Rod Morgan, who died suddenly on Thursday night. Rod Morgan, who was the chairman of selectors and a selector for 13 years with the Welsh Rugby Union. Will take charge of this semi-final, arguably the most respected referee in world rugby, which makes it all the more surprising that he didn't handle one single international in this five-nation season this year. Clive Norling, born from Neath, this is his 12th consecutive semi-final or final.
And it's noticeable that Llanelli have won the toss, and that's a vital toss to win, because although it's a beautiful day, the sun is shining very strongly, and it'll be in the Newbridge faces in the first half.
Paul Turner, who has won so many games for Newbridge off his own back, a real playmaker and a marvellous player when things are going right. Have been the odd question mark when I won't say that when the chips are down, Phil, but he has his off days.
Yes, I think everybody gets their off days. I've watched Paul play brilliant games for Newbridge, but sometimes on a big occasion he has frozen, but today he looks full of confidence. I'm sure he's there to play a big part in today's game.
So marvellous conditions and every prospect of a great game of rugby, with Clive Norling the right man in charge. It's Newbridge to start the match. Turner. Phil May takes it, shielded by Cornelius. But already a penalty against Llanelli.
And again, a good decision by Mr. Norling, right on the spot. Phil May took that kick perfectly, but Russell Cornelius immediately went into an offside position. Mr. Norling spotted it straight away. What a dream start this could be for Newbridge.
Paul Turner will take the kick. That's the distance, well within his reach. The Newbridge forwards, Terry Shaw, number 4, Andy Sutton, number 5, and Simon Jenkins, the policeman, with number 3 on his back. Paul Turner, one of the most prolific point scorers in Welsh rugby over the years. He holds the record for 2 clubs, both for Newbridge, 405 points and 368 for Newport. Turner, is he bringing it round? Turner, it's there, the flags go up. Paul Turner puts Newbridge into the lead. A great psychological blow for Newbridge. That'll be a marvellous 3 points for his side.
Perfect start, that will settle the nerves down. Look there, he's saying let's get sorted out there. But what a start, just what Newbridge needed.
Colin Stevens, the Llanelli fly half. And what a tussle this could be, the personal duel between himself and Turner as Stevens kicks downfield into the blazing sunshine. David Rees, Newbridge fullback. So the sun directly into their faces. That's Newbridge, with Turner already up to his antics. He has a cool head, 29 years old. He's been in many big games in rugby in his career. The long drop out straight to Ian Evans. Evans, the high up and under. Peter Thomas drops it. Newbridge backpedaling. Scarlets go in there. And a great charge by the Llanelli forwards.
And as I mentioned earlier on, you saw that when Ian Evans put that beautiful up and under in, how the sun got into the eyes of the Newbridge centres, and they were in deep trouble.
Lots of experience in the Llanelli pack. 5 internationals on the front row of Llanelli with Anthony Buchanan and Lawrence Delaney, 2 international props, against John Rowlands and Simon Jenkins, 2 young up-and-coming props for Newbridge, but perhaps more mobile in the Newbridge ranks, Phil.
Yes, they could be, but what a position for Llanelli. I wonder will young Stevens try to get 3 points for the drop goal.
Griffiths, Jonathan Griffiths with the feed, picked up by Phil Davis, back to Griffiths, and again to Davis. Gary Jones, Ieuan Evans is going to score. A simple try, executed quite beautifully by Llanelli, and Ieuan Evans scores his 13th try of the season.
And I said before the game that Phil Davis and Jonathan Griffiths could have a big bearing on the game. Just look at that. Not a great scrum, but there's the flick pass, and just watch making the ball available. There's the flick on. Gary Jones does well, gets the pass. Ieuan Evans, simple international, you don't drop those. And what a reply for Llanelli. Again from another angle, just watch Phil Davis flick the pass there, and there's half a gap. Jonathan Griffiths does well to get the pass in, and it's all about just making the ball available, and the back row, Gary Jones involved. Ieuan Evans, 2 metres to go, and he's scored a try.
Taking the version for Llanelli is Carwyn Davis, who's a natural left footer, but he's just given it a little bit too wide a berth on that occasion. Llanelli lead by 4 points to 3. Turner restarts all the way downfield. Nigel Davis. And Colin Stevens, quick-witted. Again, this match starting at a lively pace. Turner is back there. At home with his left foot. Certainly not finding a touch. Finding Steve Bowling, the Llanelli fullback. And Bowling gets a good safe kick into touch. That'll do his confidence a lot of good, and Phil, he's had to build his confidence in recent months after a disastrous time in New Zealand.
Yes, that's right, he didn't get many games there, but he's a fine attacking fullback, very fast player.
So a slightly shortened line out, and it's Ken Waters to throw to the front. Phil Davis takes it for Llanelli though, back to Stevens. And a beautiful kick by the young fly half. 19 years old, what potential we have in Wales with this young man. Russell Cornelius with the headband for Llanelli. Tap back by Terry Shaw for Newbridge. But Llanelli forwards in there quickly. Ripped away by Waters. Now Newbridge setting it up. Jenkins running out of space on this near side. Anthony Buchanan at the front. John Rowlands wearing one. Terry Shaw with a headband for Newbridge. And right at the back, Ieuan Jones, this sparkling new flanker who's arrived on the scene in Wales this season. Untidy ball for Richard Lewis, the Newbridge scrum half. In the Newbridge half. Clive Norling, quite rightly, not letting the ruck go too long. It leads to frustrating tactics.
Yes, Newbridge tapped the ball badly, and I know then put their scrum half Lewis under a lot of pressure.
Neil James packing down at 6 on this near side for Newbridge. And the one man who's didn't make this semi-final was Stuart Griffiths, the Newbridge captain. That'll be a blow for the Gwent side as the Llanelli pack push forward. Phil Davis, Jonathan Griffiths, Ieuan Evans. Evans going, beats Henry Taylor. Evans got one man to beat. Great tackle by David Rees. Picked up by Ieuan Jones. Llanelli on the charge. Lots of red shirts there. 3 or 4 metres now from Newbridge goal line. What a great charge again by Llanelli.
And again, it was the back row. Phil Davis has taken the game with a scruff of the neck. He said to Jonathan Griffiths, let's play it tight, and a beautifully timed pass from Griffiths gave Evans the chance to show his blistering pace on the wing. Jonathan Griffiths' opposite number is the young 21-year-old Richard Lewis.
And that was an untidy ball, but in the end picked up by Simon Hill on the left wing. Simon Hill, product of Millfield School. David Fox prepares to throw. To the middle, aimed for Phil May, not quite there. Tap back untidily for Newbridge. Richard Lewis in lots of trouble. Over the Newbridge goal line it goes.
And that was criminal on behalf of Newbridge there. Again, badly tapped out, put the scrum half in trouble, and there's a scrum a couple of metres from the line, and we saw how well Llanelli scrummaged early on. Very bad play by the forwards.
Phil May, the longest serving Llanelli player, takes a knock. Played in 3 Llanelli Cup winning teams.
This must be worrying for Llanelli because you see he's had a knee injury the last few weeks. I wonder, has he aggravated that knee?
So Phil May looks to be in quite a bit of pain there, Phil.
Well, that.
But the latest score there from St Helens, Cardiff 3, Neath 3.
That's worrying for Llanelli there because he has been out a few weeks with that knee injury.
And certainly looks as if he can't put too much of his 17 stone on that left knee. But taking his place back in the scrum. And they'll have to come back just a metre or two. Jonathan Griffiths feeds. Llanelli push. Griffiths on the dummy run, picked up by Phil Davis, 18.5 stone, charging for that Newbridge line. Scarlett's there. Desperate defence this by Newbridge, but definitely some handling on the floor there by Newbridge, and Clive Norling quite clear in his explanation. It's a penalty to Llanelli.
Yes, definite hands in there. I think that the player concerned was willing to give away possibly 3 points rather than see the ball come back and have a try, score against them.
And the decision has been taken to go for the 3 points rather than tap penalty.
Yeah, you can see Llanelli driving inches from the line. You just watch the balls coming back there, just about there, and there you can see the hands in. I think it's the flanker. But interesting decision with Llanelli. You see Carwyn Davis took the first conversion, and they have a problem with the goal kicking, and immediately they changed kickers and given the chance to Colin Stevens to put the kick over.
This young 19-year-old who's been selected for the Welsh party to tour Canada next month. 200 points for Llanelli this season, and he stroked it well. No mistake whatsoever. Colin Stevens puts Llanelli further ahead. 7 points to 3 now. The cup holders lead Newbridge. Well, he certainly has a calm head on those shoulders. Just 19 years old. As Turner gets the game going straight away. Seems to be a tactic we've seen so many times already, Phil, in this match.
But I tell you, the game hasn't stopped. It's been played at a tremendous pace. There again, we saw a quick kick-off from Paul Turner.
I think perhaps they expected Ian Evans to take a quick kick-off. Colin Stevens is going for it, though. All the way downfield. David Rees has to go back inside his 22. Turner is with him. The dummy switch. Safety first tactics from Rees. And that's a good touch finder. David Rees, the Wales B fullback. Very talented footballer. Ewan Jones wearing 7 at the back for Llanelli. 17 tries he scored for the Scarlets this season. Up goes Cornelius. Phil May takes it on the pill, but it looked as if he was standing in quite a strange position there, Phil May. The scrummage has been given to Newbridge.
Yes, and of course David Fox hasn't found his throwing-in ability yet, and it wasn't straight, but he was standing right across towards the Newbridge line.
Richard Lewis, the Newbridge scrum half, son of Alan Lewis, the former Wales and British Lion, Abertillery player, and the dummy tactics employed by the youngster. Back to Turner. Turner, a delicate little chip. Not quite accurate enough. Bowling comes in. Returns the compliment to Turner. That's a little bit unusual. Turner doesn't often miss those. Recovers. Hasn't found touch. He's found Carwyn Davies. Davies in the sunshine. Looking to run. Davies through gap, through the tackling. Some weak tackling by Newbridge. Looks for support. Finds Jonathan Griffiths. Lays it back. Cornelius. Great play this from Llanelli. Jonathan Griffiths. Stevens with the drop goal attempt. Is it there? Just wide. Well, he had men outside him, but it was a brave attempt.
Yes, he's not afraid to take decisions there. There was an overlap on, but he went for the 3 points. But great running by Carwyn Davies on the left wing to set up that situation.
Paul Turner might well be thinking, should I slow this game down a fraction, or does it suit Newbridge to keep playing at this pace? The long drop kick again finds Nigel Davies. Davies looking for a spot in the corner, a yard too long. Nigel Davies, he too is going to Canada, been in and out of the Welsh team. Phil Davies again takes the ball and drives forward. Jonathan Griffiths, Colin Stevens, Simon Davies charging through. Ewan Jones is there and Gary Jones. Llanelli quick to the loose ball.
That's a favourite tactic there, you see. Simon Davies is a 14.5, 15 stone centre, trying to run at the Newbridge midfield, set things up, and then they're trying to work the blind side.
Injury to a Newbridge player. Chris Manley is injured.
That tactic, you see it driven right into the middle of midfield. Watch it here now. There it comes. A lovely tight pass, and watch Simon Davies. He's got one thought in his mind to set up a ruck maul because he's got the back row with him ready for support. Number 6 and number 7 were there, but unfortunately the ball had gone forward. But you see, there's it come back, and he was giving Jonathan Griffiths time on the narrow side.
Meanwhile, Chris Manley seems to be okay. Chris Manley, who was included in the Welsh squad that went to Spain. Hemi Taylor. Taylor, the New Zealander, picks up. Good run by Taylor. Links up nicely with David Rees. Got a man outside. Rees chips forward. Jonathan Griffiths is back to cover for Llanelli. That kick is not going to go into touch. Simon Hill is underneath it. Hill. Peter Harris. Harris can't get there. But Newbridge breaking out of defence. What a great run it was by the number 8. Hemi Taylor, the New Zealand number 8, guesting this now is second season for Newbridge.
Good refereeing by Mr. Norley. He saw the run, saw that there was either obstruction or offside, let the advantage be played, saw there was none, and he has awarded now Newbridge a scrum, and it'll be their ball in a great attacking position.
Well, Paul Turner is in the ideal position for a drop goal, but there again, he has so many different tricks under his sleeve. Lewis with the feed. Llanelli pushing Newbridge back. It needs to come back quickly for Newbridge. It's not.
And that was a tremendous drive by Llanelli. Look, they made the ruins of the Newbridge ball. And although Mr. Norley has given a collapse scrum, that would have done the Newbridge forwards a great deal of confidence, giving them a lot of confidence.
Seven points to 3. Newbridge trail. Lewis wants the quick ball. There it is. To Turner. To Thomas. Thomas going to take man and ball. Simon Davies charging into his opposite number. On the Llanelli 22. It'll be a Newbridge ball.
I don't think the Newbridge centre, Paul Thomas, will thank Paul Turner very much for that pass, because he took Simon Davies, the big farmer, plumb on man and ball.
just about in front of the post, and a little bit of a problem on this near side. Lawrence Delaney on the tight head against John Rowlands, the Newbridge loose head. Lewis having a few problems. Turner waits. So does the Newbridge pack. Looked like an early heel that time by Newbridge. Picked up by Hemi Taylor. Lewis the dummy. Collared by Phil Davis. And again, Ewan Jones in there. But the ball is loose. Peter Jones. Crunching tackle by Jonathan Griffiths on the Newbridge flanker. Llanelli are really knocking their men down. Llanelli, quick ball. Jonathan Griffiths. David Rees. Outside is 22. Rees looking for the open side. That's a long kick. Ian Evans is underneath it, and it beats the right winger. Well, there's a line out on this near side, but that's a worrying sight for Llanelli. Phil May, for the second time in 5 minutes, is really troubled by that knee, Phil.
Yes, he was out for about a month, and he made his comeback in a crochet match, and I think he's had one other game for Llanelli, but things don't look very bright for Llanelli.
The play must continue, and that's the order from Clive Norling. Fox throws. Back on the Newbridge side. A long wild pass from the scrum half. Manley runs across field. Phil May is back in the action. Well, maybe it was a big con trick all the time, Phil.
I think he was the extra sweeper there. That's the new tactic. Get down injured and look for the cross kicks. Even Mr. Norland's having a laugh.
Peter Jones wearing 7 at the back for Newbridge. Ewan Jones at the back for Llanelli. Lewis to Turner. Turner, the pass to Peter Thomas. Again, such strong tackling from Llanelli on the halfway line, just inside Llanelli's half. Lewis, the switch now to Turner. Turner, long spiralling kick. Steve Bowling underneath it, but that was a good kick from the Newbridge fly half.
And that's what Newbridge will be looking for from Paul Turner, to gain that kind of ground, 30 or 40 metres. Tremendous kick, and Steve Bowling all over the place. Good play by the number 10.
Kenny Waters is the Newbridge hooker. Quite interesting watching Newbridge train on Wednesday night in their line-out tactics. Very different variations, not quite working that time because Llanelli stole the ball. Llanelli, of course, will know all about this national ground, and Phil May, the most experienced of players, jumping at 2 in the line-out. Waters throws to the back, aims for Neil James. Back on the Llanelli side. Griffiths. Llanelli leading by 7 points to 3. 22 minutes gone in the first half. Waters throws. Sutton gets a hand to it, but he takes 3 Llanelli players with him at the same time. Line out proving a bit of a problem for the Gwent side.
Yes, so far this afternoon, Phil May, Cornelius and Phil Davis have dominated the line-out for Llanelli, and Newbridge are finding it very difficult to get possession from that phase of play.
Peter Jones is perhaps the most experienced player, number 7 there, packing down on this side of the scrimmage for Newbridge. There really is a problem there. John Rowlands, the loose head, who Clive Norling is talking to now. Lawrence Delaney on this tight side. Quick heel ball. Griffiths. Colin Stevens. High, but perhaps a fraction too long. Rees, outside his 22. Again, kicks for the open space. He finds Ian Evans. Evans would love a run. Ian Evans, he knows this part of the ground so well. That's where it all started in that magnificent try against Scotland, but on that occasion, too many Newbridge players there.
Good covering by the Newbridge. What's very interesting about Newbridge is that when they put the kicks ahead, although people think that the men are offside, they're allowed to charge after the ball, and as long as they stay 5 yards from the man, then it's perfectly correct. They had Ian Evans bottled up on that occasion.
Again on this Llanelli tight head side, it's going down.
A lot of trouble there, and I think Mr. Norling will sort that out, because the last thing we want to see is the scrum go down all afternoon.
Griffiths getting protection from Gary Jones, and now Phil Davis with the control. Back inside to Gary Jones. Lovely pass. Ewan Jones couldn't quite get his hands to it, just a fingertip. Referee allowing advantage to be played. Good decision that from Clive Norling. Back to Turner. Turner, little jink inside. That's cheeky. The little grubber kick. Manley chasing up. Lovely play by Newbridge. Manley tackled by Nigel Davis. What a tackle that was. Ewan Jones tripping over his own boots, but it's still Llanelli going forward. Up to the Newbridge 22. Jonathan Griffiths. Simon Davis, Nigel Davis got Ian Evans outside him. Evans takes the ball. Collared by Hill. Can't get there. Nigel Davis goes over, but the ball went forward in the tackle.
Sparkling rugby, great play by both sides. Half a gap, Trainer on the field, he's in the way. Nigel Davis, half a gap, let's look very carefully. Comes out to Ian Evans, good tackling by the winger, and he's forced into touch in the corner. But what a worrying moment off your picture. You can see David Fox has been injured. He damaged his collarbone playing for the Fire Brigade against Llanelli a few weeks ago, a month or so ago, and I don't think he will take for any part in this game. Looks as if it's gone again, dislocation.
Yes, that's certainly a worrying sight for Llanelli. Oh gosh, that hurt. Please don't do that again.
He's just put it back in place. Please said about enough of that.
But it's going to be a scrum 5 metres from the Newbridge line. That ball having gone forward in the tackle from Ian Evans. Newbridge feed. Richard Lewis. And it's a penalty to Newbridge. And the substitute for David Fox is number 17, Eddie James. Turner inside his 22, rifles a kick along the touchline. So Eddie James's first taste of the match with a throw-in. To the middle, finds Russell Cornelius, good throw. Llanelli win ball, Colin Stevens, Nigel Davis cutting back inside. Jonathan Griffiths on the narrow side. That's the Newbridge 10-metre line. Ewan Jones fancies himself as a scrum half perhaps. David Rees allowing the ball to bounce, that's a bit risky. Ian Evans, given half a chance, he'll be there.
I think the one thing that David Rees mustn't do as full back, the ground is firm, you've got to get under the ball and not let it bounce from that chip ahead there by Jones.
Ken Waters waits because Paul Turner has taken a bump.
Here's where the flanker Ewan Jones gets the ball. I thought he might have passed, but he puts a lovely chip ahead. Now look, David Rees doesn't know whether to come, but he decides to let the ball bounce, and that's very dangerous on this surface because it's quite firm. And look, Ian Evans nearly got in there in the corner. And from the other angle, look, for a flanker, that's a lovely chip ahead, you know. Robert Jones would be proud of that. But look, Rees hesitates, the ball goes away. Evans looking very sharp, but he kicks it straight into touch on the full. Well,
Paul Turner looks to be okay, but He certainly doesn't want to take a bump that will restrict his movements. Such an important part of this Newbridge team. Ken Waters throws to the middle, intended for Sutton. Again, Newbridge really struggling in the line-out. Cornelius giving Sutton a torrid time, but it's back on the Newbridge side. Lewis gets a good kick into touch. Good kick from Richard Lewis, a former Blackwood player, joined Newbridge this season. To the front this time. Well taken by Phil May, both hands on the ball. So Llanelli is shielding the ball. Ewan Jones breaks. Jonathan Griffiths runs now, links with Ewan Jones. Llanelli coming back. Colin Stevens, Simon Davis, Nigel Davis bowling in the line. Standing on his feet, Gary Jones. Oh, the pass was loose to Calvin Davis.
And that all started with Ewan Jones running at the Newbridge midfield. You see, taking Paul Turner, taking the centres out of the game, making the space available. Just look at that, Llanelli winning the ruck, and watch Jonathan Griffiths go. And there's lovely ball after winning it. Watch the flick pass there, beautiful flick pass. I think Bowling should have gone on the outside. He cut in, but good support play by Gary Jones, but he ruined it all with a terrible pass to Carwyn Davies.
Scrummage just inside Newbridge 22. Lewis, chip upfield. Well, it'll certainly be a warm day for the most part of this ground. Beautiful day, lovely conditions in Cardiff. The throw to the middle. Must have been a slight knock on, or perhaps not even straight. Newbridge ball. Newbridge, who are appearing in just their 4th semi-final. They've never made it to the final, of course. And what a win it would be in this, their centenary season. But they're trailing by 7 points to 3. Back to Turner. That's a useful kick. He's still holding that leg just a little bit, Phil.
Yes, I think he took a fairly hard tackle, and it was very noticeable, as I said just a few minutes earlier, that Ewan Jones and Jonathan Griffiths were running at the midfield, trying to bring Paul Turner in and get him involved in some tackling.
Throw to the back, straight to Ewan Jones. Procession of ball coming back Llanelli's way. Simon Davis. That's into space on this near side. Rees is running out of space himself, and a very good kick by Simon Davis. The quick throw taken by David Rees straight to Alan Harris, and Harris really had to scamper there. What a tactic that was by David Rees.
I tell you what, that was enterprise of the highest order there, but I bet a few Newbridge hearts were fluttering because he nearly got crushed down the right wing, Harris, from Rees's throw.
James throws. Ball bobbing about, but it's still with Llanelli. Laid back, Phil May. Drives on. Jonathan Griffiths. There was a hand in there. That was Andy Sutton just prevented Griffiths going through. But it's been an impressive Llanelli in this first half. See how Llanelli pushing Newbridge back yet again. Turner, a little shimmy off the left foot. Back onto the right. And there still has a worried look on his face.
But that was class there. Saw that 3 men were coming towards him. Ewan Jones went up very quick. Neat little sidestep and a beautiful 30-metre kick.
4-7-4, come on.
James with the throw. May with the tap, and Gary Jones couldn't collect it.
I look at Gary Jones jumping at the front of the line out for Llanelli, normally a flank forward, going down the front to try and confuse Newbridge.
Quality this time against Lawrence Delaney for a bit of a barge in the line-out. Turner from the sunshine into the shadow, and that was in touch. Ian Evans tried to deflect it, but it was a good kick by Turner. Anthony Buchanan at the front there for Llanelli. John Rowlands standing opposite him. James, again Phil May takes it. What a take by the big man. Stevens, inside his 22. Oh, that's a terrific kick by young Colin Stevens. Set his sights and rifled it downfield. Russell Cornelius have been very much part of this Llanelli success in the 80s. Gary Jones taps back. Again, Phil May cleans it up. Jonathan Griffiths, Stevens. That's an untidy pass to Nigel Davis. It was a great pickup off his toes on the Newbridge 10-metre line. Jonathan Griffiths. Ian Evans was outside, going for the little kick ahead. And again, it pushes Newbridge further back. Jonathan Griffiths knowing exactly where Newbridge defences were. Excellent kick by Griffiths, but that was only created by the tremendous take in the centre by Nigel Davis, who plucked it up from his toes. Good play by the centre, Davis. Again, we can see that Gary Jones is standing in the front of the line out, trying to confuse Terry Shaw in the front. Shaw taps back. Lewis scampers out of defence, puts the kick in. It's not going to bounce for him though. Steve Bowling is back there. Ian Evans going inside. Bowling kicks downfield. Who's there? It's Paul Turner. And Turner makes safe with that kick. Still troubled by a nagging injury. There's interest in that line out that Gary Jones went down the front to confuse Newbridge, but he left a big gap in the back of the line out, which Richard Lewis poured through. 5 minutes of this first half remaining, and it's Llanelli leading by 7 points to 3. Lewis wants that ball quickly. Back to Turner, Manley, Thomas, Rees in the line, misses out Rees. Alan Harris, probably the fastest man in the field, but absolutely no chance. 4 or 5 scarlet jerseys around him. But it seems that Llanelli got 2 men for every one Newbridge man. The one feature of this game this afternoon, there's been lots of good rugby, some good handling, but the key to it all has been the tackling of both sides has been tremendous. Well, we certainly have been blessed with superb conditions here this afternoon, and both sides seem eager to run the ball. Not quite the traditional Dura rugby that Cup rugby can so often produce. And it might well have been a heel against the head. It is. One for Kenny Waters. Turner back inside his 22. He doesn't find touch. Finds Bowling. Bowling not enough distance with the kick. Taken by Thomas. Back on the Newbridge side. Waters. There's a big man who's got mobile as well, up to the halfway line. Newbridge finishing this first half just a little bit stronger than they started it. Turner. Well, he had 3 or 4 men outside him and going for the safety tactic first. Yes, he went for the kick there, Paul Turner. He's the key man, but I felt there he had 3 or 4 men. There was an overlap, but he decided to go for ground. James throws. And for once, Llanelli don't win it. It's tidied up by Terry Shaw. Peter Jones, Lewis, Turner. Turner in the box. But straight down Ian Evans' throat. And an offside given against Llanelli. Clive Norling standing in the bright sunshine in the middle of the field.
and at last Newbridge are beginning to win better line-out ball because their prop forward John Rowlands is tidying the ball up in the line-out, and Clive Norley would not stand for offside, and he had the Llanelli backs there quite rightly. They encroached the 10 metres and he's awarded a kickable penalty to Newbridge.
Well, this would be a great psychological boost for Paul Turner, because his side trails by these 4 points, 7 points to 3 the score, and it's just on the stroke of half-time, about 2 minutes to go before the end of this first half. Just inside the 40-metre mark. Turner seems to have stroked it nicely. It's there. Paul Turner gets his second penalty. It's now 7 points to 6 on the stroke of half-time. And Paul Turner, well, he goes over 300 points for the season for Newbridge.
And Newbridge will be highly delighted because they've been under the hammer most of this half. Llanelli won all the possession, but yet they might find themselves, Newbridge, only going in a point down.
Colin Stevens restarts. Well, the crowd up in that north stand enjoying a great game of rugby. It's had its moments in this first half, and no better a day to enjoy it. Paul Turner to David Rees. Well, we've seen this tactic used by both sides. Bowling. One bounce into touch. Well, that was beautifully measured by the young fullback, a utility player who I like, Phil. I enjoy watching Steve Bowling.
Yes, plenty of attacking potential, and there he showed that he can kick as well. But it was noticeable for me there that Paul Turner again threw the ball to David Rees, and I'm just wondering how his right leg is holding up.
Gary Jones has again gone to the front for Llanelli. Phil May got a hand to it, picked up by Hemi Taylor. And the New Zealander stopped in his efforts.
Got to be a drop goal here by Colin Stevens. Quick ball and he'll have a go at it.
Stevens with Phil Davis outside him. Phil Davis charging up to the Newbridge posts. Again that quick ball. Jonathan Griffiths, Ian Evans, the little chip. Hill goes back, so does Evans. And Simon Hill wins the race.
And there we see the lovely chip ahead, but the winger just got back.
The play's gone on the far side. Cameron Davis going for the line. Nigel Davis back to Ewan Jones, and Ewan Jones has scored Llanelli's second try in the first half. It started from a very quick dropout, a bit of a mix-up on the 22. Newbridge just playing around a bit on their 22, and Llanelli have stretched the lead on the stroke of half-time.
Yes, it had gone wrong, but look at the lovely run-in by Calvin Davis. And I like people who support on the inside. There's the one supporter, Nigel Davis, and every good flanker should be looking for this kind of try. He holds on well the centre, and he just flicks it up, and Ewan Jones, a yard to go. Good support, the flanker deserved that try.
From the touchline then, it's a difficult angle for Colin Stevens, but he's already put over one successful penalty. Stevens, who's given it a lovely kick, straight through the middle, absolutely beautiful kick, 2 more points, and Llanelli take a half-time lead of 13 points to 6 because the referee has blown for the end of a very entertaining first half. Llanelli just stretching that lead. What a blow that was for Newbridge, having themselves come to within 1 point of the cup holders.
Yes, at 7-6, I think they would have been delighted to have gone in at half-time with that, because Llanelli had all the possession, all the pressure, hadn't turned into points. But Paul Turner can either be a genius or he makes the mistake. He made that mistake, quick drop out. Llanelli took advantage. The back row were there, good support, and they went over. And 13-6 for Llanelli is much better than the 7-6 which they could have gone in with.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, Phil, whether Llanelli are going to run perhaps a little bit more expansively in the second half. They tried it in the first, but Newbridge came back at them.
Yes, I think the key to it all is Phil Davis. Look, he's saying there, we've got them in the scrimmage. He feels that Llanelli pack can out-scrimmage them, and I think that he'll try to dominate at number 8.
So 13 points to 6 here is the half-time score at the National Stadium between Newbridge and Llanelli. The other semi-final is at St Helens, where Cardiff are playing Neath, last year's beaten finalists, Martin Williams.
Yes, just a point in it at half-time. The game opening with Mike Greer opening the scoring for Cardiff with a penalty, 3 points to 0. The reply came from Paul Thorburn. That made it 3-all. But then Neath, after ferociously attacking the Cardiff try line against the wind in this first half, managed to put a few passes together to get Chris Higgs over in the corner. That made it 7 points to 3, but a minute before half-time, Mike Greer eventually found his kicking boots once again to make it 7 points to 6. A really entertaining first half, ferocious at times, Eddie Butler.
Yes, indeed, but all the enterprise has come from Neath. They played so intelligently into the wind, using the back row to stand off Ruck at the Mall, using David Pickering, who's been outstanding, to drive on at the heart of the Cardiff defence. And really, they've held all the trump cards, and now in the second half, they have the wind.
Yes, indeed. Neath, with the wind in the second half, will certainly test the Cardiff defences once again. But at the moment, it's Neath in the lead by 7 points to 6.
Well, just 1 point in it down there at Swansea, and what a game down there, as Martin was saying. But here we've also got a game at the National Stadium where, quite honestly, Phil, it doesn't seem that the big stadium has presented any problems in nerves for Newbridge.
No, they've settled down very, very well. Their tackling has been superb. The big problem for Newbridge has been winning possession. They've been in trouble in the scrums and in trouble in the line-out. I'm sure they'll want to get back straight into this game and not let Llanelli extend their lead.
Clive Norling just checks his watch. The players so enjoy playing when they know this man is in charge. He lets the game go. And Colin Stevens gets the second half underway.
And there's Paul Turner. Look, he's had his legs strapped at half-time. I wonder how much of a hindrance that would be to the fly-half.
David Rees goes for the kick downfield, straight downfield and straight to Nigel Davis. Davis sees a gap. Turner is back there. Turner inside his 22. Straight to Bowling. Steve Bowling looks to open up. Jonathan Griffiths wasn't actually looking for the pass. Bowling, he's got Eddie James, the replacement, on. James, that's cleverly done by the hooker. James has got Colin Stevens outside. James all the way. And what a try that was by Eddie James. Congratulations from his teammates. Eddie James scores Llanelli's third try.
The hooker will never be forgiven in the front row union. Look at that chip ahead, outstanding chip ahead for a hooker. What skill, regathers the ball. He's only got a few metres to go. Nobody's going to stop him after chipping ahead like that. And look, what a picture, right into the corner. Good play by Bowling, look at him there, showing his pace. Look, what's this lovely time pass here now? He draws, goes in, and there's where the pass beats the man. But I can't get over a hooker doing this. Bobby Windsor would never have done it. A lovely chip ahead, but just look at the lovely bounce. He deserved that, Eddie James. Look, he's so determined, he's caught it. He says, I'm going to get there, with the help of Jonathan, with Stevens, and he's over in the corner.
From the touchline, Colin Stevens, well, he put the kick over from the far touchline to convert Ewan Jones's try at the end of the first half. Stevens. Not this time. Didn't quite get hold of the ball. But there's the try scorer, Eddie James, big smile on his face, the big policeman. Again, that's another crucial blow for Newbridge to accept. 11 points between the two sides, and these tries being scored at crucial times. Just before half-time, just after half-time. Knock on. It'll be a scrimmage, Llanelli ball. Griffiths, long pass to Stevens. Confidence now in the Llanelli backs. Straight to Alan Harris. Harris, is he going to have a run? He's quick, this boy. Harris does well, links back to Richard Lewis. The chip upfield, bowling coming in at pace. Manley went up for it. It looked as if it might have been a knock-on. The referee's playing advantage. Kenny Walters, pace shown by the hooker. Well, this game is not about three-quarters, Phil Bennett. It's all about hookers.
The hookers are stealing the line right there. He went round that blind side and showed tremendous pace. Just look here, it's scrappy ball, but look at the hooker. Look, there's a bit, they're fighting off the ball, but he puts his head back, and it's only a tremendous tackling by Griffiths that saves the situation with Llanelli.
The line out, taken quickly. Coming through is Eddie James.
But can I pay tribute to Clive Norlin? You know, there was a knock-on here and there in the last race, but he let the advantage go, and this game is so good because this man is in charge and he's letting the game flow.
Even more surprising, Phil, that Clive Norling didn't take charge of one match in this year's Five Nations Championship season.
Incredible, the only word, incredible.
The Llanelli goal line. Just behind the Llanelli pack. Taylor waits and Taylor controls. Lewis, Turner, the long screw pass to Peter Thomas. Thomas tackled by Nigel Davis. Good tackling by Llanelli in defence. Picked up by Andy Sutton. Sutton and Newbridge driving forward. There's much more confidence now in Newbridge. Taylor, the pass out. Neil James. James trying to barge his way through. Lewis. There's 3-4 men outside. Manley, he's gone back inside. Well, it wasn't quite an overlap, but Rees and the quickest man on the field, Harris, was there. But the penalty has been given. Llanelli backs standing offside.
That was criminal by Manley in the centre. I hate to be critical because they're trying to play good football, but there was a 4-2 overlap there, and although I think Paul Turner might kick the goal, there was 6 points which went a begging then.
And the injury is to Lawrence Delaney, the Llanelli prop.
Just look at this play here. Look, the ball's all over the place. Neil James driving well, good tackling, but just look at this now, without being critical. There's the ball, there's Manley, he's got men outside and he cuts back inside, and there's where the chance was lost.
Well, Llanelli have already lost one player, that's the hooker David Fox, with what looked to be a dislocated shoulder. Lawrence Delaney doesn't look in quite such pain, but Turner is looking at the posts because he's just put the ball straight between them. It's 3 more points for Newbridge, and it's now 17 points to 9. So 3 penalty goals by the Newbridge captain is keeping Newbridge just in there. The deficit now just these 8 points. Colin Stevens. Still in play. Rees changes the tactic this time. That's a long kick by the Newbridge fullback.
This man is very adventurous. He could have easily minded the ball there, but he's going and he wants to run the ball. He looks very exciting, David Rees at fullback.
Phil May, the old warrior, at the front for Llanelli, but taken by Cornelius. Jonathan Griffiths, short side, throws the pass back inside. It's Newbridge winning it. Rowlands burrowing for the ball, still going on. The whistle's gone. Well, it's been a match that's been played in the best spirit, Phil.
Yes, can I make a point? It's such a glorious day, but I must say that the last month or two, there have been atrocious conditions, rain, etc. It's very warm out there, and I think a lot of the players out there, both sides, are finding the heat quite hard to take. And it's noticeable, a lot of shoulder injuries, and the ground is quite firm in places, and I don't think they're quite used to it after the wet weather we've had this last 3 or 4 weeks. And Phil Davies is calling for a sub. I'm just wondering what sort of state Phil May is in.
Well, Phil May again in the wars. Clive Norling showing his concern.
Let's look very closely at this. It's scrappy ball. Jonathan Griffiths goes on, and I think he should have gone in and touched myself, but he throws the ball. Phil May makes a big effort to go there, and there's, I think, where he hurt himself in that incident.
Phil May is all right, takes his place back in the scrimmage. On the halfway line. Well, that scrum has gone the full 90 degrees, which means that in the new law which came in through the international board, they'll have to take the scrimmage again.
But better scrummaging by Newbridge.
Anthony Buchanan on this loose head for Llanelli, but the penalty is given against the Scarlets this time. Newbridge taking it quickly. Neil James with a whole pack behind him. Lewis, Turner, the three-quarters lined up for the attack, but Turner going for the high up and under, landing just on the 22. Peter Jones. Terry Shaw inside the Llanelli 22. Newbridge much more confidence now. Waters feeds, can't get the pass out. Ewan Jones. Chance gone missing for Newbridge, and definitely offside. Clive Norling there. Frustration on the part of Andy Sutton.
And Newbridge will be kicking themselves there, because it was great play by the forwards to set up that ball. They messed it up, but I'll say one thing, Newbridge have definitely stepped up a gear and are looking much sharper.
Stevens for the far touchline.
We saw a tactic from the last short penalty that Neil James, the back row forward, drove in to form that ruck, very similar to the tactics that Pontypridd used.
Waters to the back, and Newbridge win. Clean ball at last. Turner, Manley, Thomas going for the gap. Lovely gap by the Newbridge centre. Back inside to Manley. David Rees outside. Rees goes back inside. Manley couldn't get his hands on it. The pass was inches forward, just inches forward, but Newbridge are back in this match.
They have definitely stepped up a gear. Brilliant play by their backs. Absolutely split the Llanelli defence, and Harris has livid the ball wasn't spread wide of him. Let's have a look at this. What's that lovely time pass? And here's where I love centres making a break. Look, he leaves the Llanelli defence for dead. Now, I think he should have come back on the outside here, but there's where that forward pass, criminal waste of a good ball.
The scrummage directly in front of Llanelli's post. Griffiths looks back inside. Phil Davies, but Clive Norling was there as well. Oh, we haven't seen Clive Norling have a run with the ball in his hands, but that's the decision. Llanelli scrummage. The quick feed, and Griffiths is harassed by his opposite number. That's the result. Peter Jones driving forward. Black and blue shirts now, going in there with a lot more urgency. It's Newbridge ball. All the backs are lined up. Turner, Manley, the quick pass. Thomas. There's a two-man overlap. David Rees can't get the ball, can't keep his hands on it. The try went begging.
And the Newbridge forwards must be absolutely furious. They set up good ball, and yet again the last pass goes down. Just look at this magnificent ball. The overlaps are there. That's all you have to do is run and handle simply. Lovely tight pass. Look, there it comes, the gap there. But unfortunately, Rees puts the ball down.
In front of the Llanelli goalpost. Look at this Newbridge scrum going forward. Stevens, he'll have to hurry, as he did, gets his kick in.
I can remember watching a match at the welfare ground earlier on this season, Newbridge playing the Samoans, and again that day they'd put so many chances down with the last pass.
Waters throws. Hemi Taylor can't quite get his hand on it. Simon Davis, that was nicely done. Back to Ewan Jones. Phil Davis taking it on. The big number 8 charges up to his own 10-metre line. Griffiths sniping run from the scrum half. Jones, cleverly done to David Rees. Well, this game has got everything. The referee is letting it go. Back to Steve Bowling. Nigel Davis in the sunshine. These players are enjoying themselves, and Davis puts a great kick in to touch on the far side. Now it rolls into touch.
Good play by the centre. You see, ex-play half, he knows how to kick the ball. He rescued his forwards there, 60 metres up the field. Good play by Nigel Davis.
Paul Turner still carrying that left leg just a fraction. I noticed the last scrum he was the last man to take his position in the three-quarters. Be a terrible blow if Turner had to leave. And Clive Norling is having just a little chat with Andy Sutton, number 5 for Newbridge, a man who's been named in the Welsh party to go to Canada. Llanelli drive through. Turner, coolly done. Manley. Carwyn Davis. Good kick from the Newbridge centre.
And you feel at this stage of the game that Newbridge desperately need to try or some points on the board, and I think if they can get points on the board, they will really shake Llanelli.
Quarter of an hour gone in this second half. It's Llanelli who lead by 17 points to 9. Ewan Jones trying to drive his way through. A couple of knock-ons. The first one by Newbridge.
Let's have a look at this scrum. Newbridge have scrummaged very well in the second half. Let's see how Llanelli react to this scrummage. Very important.
Griffiths. Nicely taken by Stevens. Oh, that looks a good kick by the fly half. Is the bounce good? David Rees has to go back. Yes, Rees takes the quick throw in to Hill.
19-year-old Colin Stevens, what a kick, 70 metres, brilliantly spinning at the corner, and his pack will thank him for that.
To the front, taken by Buchanan. But, the ball not going 5 metres. Clive Norling on top of every decision he makes, Phil.
Yes, he's been first class this afternoon, and what I've liked about him, that he's watched the backs so they don't encroach on the offside line, and he's let the game flow. That's important, and you just mentioned as well earlier on, not one piece of fighting so far. Great spirit.
Gary Jones packing down on this far side. They're harassing Lewis. Lewis gets the pass to Turner. Turner, a cheeky little chip upfield. Peter Thomas. Thomas has got the whole field in front of him. He's got men both sides. Manley. Oh, the pass was not there. The pass needed to be there, but now counter-attacking. It's Nigel Davis. Bowling. Must have been a knock-on. The whole field was there, and Thomas couldn't quite get the pass in.
Look at this beautiful chip ahead by Turner. He realised that Carwyn Davis had dropped back deep, and he put it on a sixpence. Beautiful take, tremendous pace by the centre, but it must be so frustrating. There's men either side, simple pass it, and yet again the pass goes down. Newbridge have lost about half a dozen chances in this game, and they can't throw that kind of chances away in a semi-final of the Cup.
So the latest score from St Helens in the other semi-final, Cardiff trailing Neath by 13 points to 9. The replacement is Chris Phillips for Newbridge. And Alan Harris is the man who's gone off. Chris Phillips wearing 19. Someone else in the wars, that's Ken Waters, the Newbridge hooker, a Monmouthshire County player, and a very important man in the Newbridge setup. These two packs still jostling, still trying to get in the best position. It's been a little bit unsatisfactory there, Phil, these two front rows.
Yes, there's been a problem, the tight head with Delaney and the loose head with Newbridge. They've been going down quite a lot this afternoon.
Lewis with the feed. Norling checks behind him for the standing of the backs, but it's Turner. Turner on his left foot. Turner with a kick for Phillips. But I'm sure that Ian Evans, who's taken a bump.
That was very interesting from that phase of play. It was noticeable that Paul Turner went into the centre, took the ball from the outside half, and he was able to kick and have more time in the centre position. And I think that Newbridge were ahead from that kick, or it could have been a late tackle on Ian Evans, and Mr. Norling's brought him back and given Fletty the put in.
And it's on the Newbridge 22, directly in front of their posts. Griffiths waits, it's Davis with a pickup, the dummy, beautifully done by Phil Davis. Gary Jones, Jones going for the line. Ewan Jones in support. Again, that Llanelli back row.
Yes, Phil Davis, immense character, 18.5, 19 stone, so powerful, just broke through the tackles. Great support by Gary Jones and Ewan Jones. And I'm sure Jonathan Griffiths will be looking at that narrow side. I'm sure he wants to have a crack there.
5 metres from Newbridge goal line. Phil Davis, there's the shove, the snap shove, it went in, but the two front rows have collapsed.
Yes, and some referees on those occasions, obviously Mr. Norling thought they didn't go down intentionally because Llanelli were driving forward, might have given a penalty try, but he's gone the other side to have a good look.
Davis, the pick-up, Davis going himself. Well, Griffiths had gone for the pass. On that occasion, it might have gone. Ian Evans was also standing on that far side, the narrow side. But it's still Llanelli ball. Yard by yard, getting ever closer to the Newbridge goal line. Solid scrum again from the Scarlets. This time, Griffiths does the perfect dummy. But
yes, he had knocked the ball on. I think Phil Davis will be very annoyed. He was there to drive over.
Scrum is wheeling. Referee lets it go. Turner, well, he had to hurry. Bowling having to shield his eyes from the sun, and Turner is definitely carrying that leg.
But you saw there he was in trouble, but because he can kick with both feet, he got it away with his left. Tremendous play.
James throws, aims for Cornelius. Just a hand to it from Gary Jones as well. Inside the Newbridge 22, Griffiths, Ewan Jones standing off, the dummy to him. Picked up by Phil Davis. What a wonderful pick up by the big number 8. Still got it, but yes, the penalty. He was tackled, didn't release the ball, went on, carried on playing. Penalty to Newbridge. Turner wastes no time whatsoever.
let's look at this very carefully. There's Griffiths always looking for his back row. Look at this pick-up by Phil Davies. Look how strong. Look, 1, 2, he's driving, he's taking 3 men in, but there's where the tackle was made, and look, he got up and didn't release the ball, and quite rightly a penalty award against Llanelli.
Cornelius couldn't quite get a hand to it. James, look at the speed on that hooker. Eddie James, well, he's enjoyed himself since he's come on as a replacement for David Fox. James throws, Cornelius tries to tap back, Newbridge just contesting these lineouts marginally better in the second half. Phil May tidies up, quick ball, Griffiths, Stevens, the long pass out to Nigel Davis, the dummy inside, great tackle by Peter Thomas. Well, 2 or 3 men outside, but again the tackling in midfield was so positive.
Newbridge had bags of cover there, they're spreading across the field well, but as I said earlier in the first half, players trying to run, but the tackling has been absolutely outstanding by both sides.
Stevens, shimmying, jinking little run. Lovely, neat play by the 19-year-old. No mark given, but good defence by Newbridge. Turner, the sidestep, cheeky, running out of ideas, David Rees. Well, Rees had to hurry.
And there's where we saw that Paul Turner had the gap, the space was there, but he's obviously hampered by that leg injury, and he just had to feed the ball off. I'm just wondering, he's such a key player, I suppose he's right to stay on, but just have a look at this. There's a lovely dummy, and the whole ground opens up in front of him, but you can see he's not really keen to have a run, and he just ships the ball on for Rees to kick.
That's the halfway line. May taps. And again, it's Llanelli ball. Stevens. That's a good kick, not bouncing into touch. Phillips finds Phil May. And that was well done by the big second row, but again, Newbridge players just a little bit eager to get upfield. And encroaching on the 10-metre rule.
But isn't it good to see forward showing skills? We saw Eddie James kicking ahead there, and Phil May taking the ball well and just not running the touch, looking for open spaces. Good forward skills showing this afternoon.
So Llanelli opted for the scrimmage from where the kick was taken. Jonathan Griffiths hampered this time by Lewis. Turner flicked on to Manley. Thomas, Rees in the line. He's got a man outside. Can't get the pass out to Hill. Now it's Peter Jones, Newbridge, upfield. They're going upfield. Simon Hill can't get the pass. Hemi Taylor's quick. Terry Shaw comes back the other way. Terry Shaw's going to score here for Newbridge. The try is given. What a magnificent try by Newbridge. Terry Shaw, all the confidence, the guts of the big man. He brings Newbridge back into this match. 4 points in it.
One of the great tries you'll see of any season. Tremendous scrum, let's give credit. They put Llanelli under pressure, and there's where the Newbridge backs have at last put it together. David Rees, tremendous pace, getting there, and there's the flick pass, and Peter Jones, the flanker. Look, he's showing tremendous pace, and look, it's great. Shaw has come up in support. The big second row I said the forward skills have been superb. They have been superb. On his back, but the momentum takes him over. Great try.
Turner with the conversion, it's there, 2 more points. It's now 17 points to 15. Newbridge are back in this match.
And it was all about forward support play. There's Peter Jones, who's been outstanding in the loose, looking for the inside play. Look, plenty of support there. Hemi Taylor's done very, very well, and there's the pass. Look at this, lovely dummy by Terry Shaw. He's known as a runner, good tackle by Evans, but there's where the momentum took him over.
The restart by Colin Stevens. Rees has a look upfield. Well, you can't ask for better rugby, more entertaining rugby, and this a cup semi-final. Again, the game gets underway quickly. Jonathan Griffiths outside is 22. Griffiths running into tacklers. Griffiths getting away. Newbridge not putting down the man. Gary Jones tidies up. Little bit of composure needed perhaps in the Llanelli ranks. Simon Davis gets the ball into touch on the far side.
This game has been playing at an incredible pace, you know, it's very hot up there. Full credit to all the players out there. Tremendous tackling and commitment shown. What a match.
The national ground comes alive. Newbridge trailing by just 2 points. Both sets of supporters cheering now. A magnificent effort this has been by two sides, eager to get on with it, as they do now. Newbridge, Thomas, Rees in the line. Simon Hill. Well, it's all happening out there. Give credit to these two sides.
I tell you what, the way that the Newbridge back spun that ball, fingertip passing at its very best. No, we talk about lack of skills in Welsh rugby, but we've seen some wonderful skills out here this afternoon.
Couldn't get better entertainment. Simon Davis has taken a bump on his thigh.
Let's have a look at this very carefully. Newbridge winning ball, not great ball, but well tidied up. I've liked the look of their backs when they've really had the confidence. Just look at this fingertip passing. There it is. Good skills, lovely play all along the line. Neat grubber kick ahead. Newbridge pouring forward, but Gary Jones, like a good flanker, showing brave commitment, making the ball his. And he's taken into touch, but good play by the backs, good covering by Gary Jones.
There's no doubt about which team they're supporting. Well, it really has been an advert for rugby football. So often the game is criticised, but it's had all the ingredients this afternoon. Waters throws, but it's Llanelli who win it. Ewan Jones over the halfway line. Llanelli, they need to find a little bit more now, but feeding an offside from Newbridge.
Hands at work there, Mr. Nolan perfectly making the decision clear. Perfect ball coming back, but the hand spoiled it, and I think he badly need this kick from Stevens.
Well, it's a big kick for Colin Stevens, but conditions absolutely ideal. Not a breath of wind and very firm underfoot. Newbridge, they don't want this kick to go over. They've brought themselves to within just 2 points. 10 minutes left in the match. Stevens kicks, Stevens, and it's wide. He needed that one. He certainly wanted that, and if ever there was a test for the youngsters' composure, it's now. Turner, what's Turner doing? This is all a bit risky. One wonders whether Newbridge really need to play it like that. It was on their 22. It could have been so close.
Paul Turner can either be a genius or make mistakes. I think he should have settled it there and got his forwards under the high ball, because they are really on song at the moment, and he's given away a vital position that he should attack from here.
Griffiths, the quick heel. Stevens goes for the drop goal. It's there. Colin Stevens adds 3 more points, and Llanelli go 5 points ahead. 20 points to 15. 9 minutes to go in the match.
You see, quick ball this time. Channel 1 ball comes out very quick. Griffiths does well. Stevens shows composure, and for the moment he struck that, it was going to be 3 points. Never any doubt. High and straight between the posts.
David Rees finds Ian Evans. I've not seen too much of Ian Evans in this second half. So it's a shortened line out on the far side. Phil Davis at the back wearing 8. Hemi Taylor 8 for Newbridge. Andy Sutton wins the ball for Newbridge. John Rowlands, the Newbridge prop, wants to set it up, has to set it up for Newbridge. Well, 3 or 4 sets of hands in there. The referee is right there. Penalty to Newbridge.
And what a crucial decision here. Do they go for the try, or does Paul Turner shove the points over?
Paul Turner has taken it quickly. Turner feeds Kenny Waters. Waters is through. He's got Neil James outside him. Newbridge up towards the Llanelli posts. Richard Lewis looks outside. Peter Jones, the pass can't go to hand. Manley. Llanelli penalised. Hemi Taylor, the New Zealander, going for himself. Can Newbridge steal it here? Again offside against Llanelli. Colin Stevens, the man penalised that time. Desperate
Moments for Llanelli. Great play by Newbridge. They're throwing everything into this, and it's only desperate defence is keeping them out, and I can't see them stopping some big man going over in this positioning.
The Llanelli posts casting a shadow as Newbridge take the quick penalty. Terry Shaw, 17.5 stone, going for the Llanelli line. Sutton tries to pick and feed. Waters acting as scrum half, though Lewis is there. Lewis, Simon Hill took it standing still, absolutely no start.
But look at Mr. Norlin, he's gone under the post again. He has caught the Llanelli backs offside. He's been very strict on that this afternoon.
It's 20 points to 15, Llanelli lead. 5 minutes to go in the match. That's the situation. Turner is there, he's the captain. He needs a cool head. He's going for the 3 points. It should be a simple kick, it should be, but the nerves are there as well.
I think in all honesty Llanelli will be delighted to see him go for 3 points, because I think they were close to cracking there, and 6 points obviously would have taken Newbridge into the lead.
Turner, 3 points. Looking to Clive Norling, asking how much time is left. It's 20 points to 18. The cup holders have the narrowest of leads. And 4 minutes remain.
Now, Llanelli and especially Colin Stevens have got to show composure. I think they'll want to put the ball dead and put Newbridge under pressure, but the Newbridge backs have looked so sharp that anything can happen. What a last few minutes.
Well, this has been one of the great games of rugby football this season. And Colin Stevens gets the match underway straight away. Turner, the switch with David Rees. Rees all the way downfield. That's a good catch by Jonathan Griffiths. Griffiths over the halfway line. And yes, Neil James is the Newbridge man who's been hauled up by the referee, standing within 10 metres of the Llanelli man who caught the ball.
That's right, and that could prove a vital decision. You see Mr. Norton explaining, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that Colin Stevens will go for another drop goal here to try and put another few points between them and Newbridge.
Colin Stevens waits directly in front of the post, just outside the Newbridge 22. Scrum has gone, not quite the 90 degrees. Newbridge are pushing it back. Phil Davis feeds, backpedaling but looking for the man. Gary Jones, Phil Davis. Davis taking the whole Newbridge pack with him.
That's Phil Davis, you see. For me, he's been the outstanding forward of the game this afternoon, because he's 18.5, 19 stone. He's just driving his way through, and I'm sure he wants a try, and he's only a metre or two from the line.
He really is the biggest customer that you'd ever want to meet, going at you at that pace and from this distance. No, not quite the steal that Richard Lewis would have wanted. The ball not going through the channel.
And look at that position for Jonathan Griffiths on that narrow side.
Phil Davis. No, the scrummage has gone 90 degrees. Well, Clive Norling can certainly let most aspects of the game go, but on that one, he's got to blow them for the scrummage. Can Stevens find the 3 points for Llanelli? It's 20 points to 18.
I fancy Phil Davis wants to try here, you know.
Llanelli pushing forward. The scrum goes down. Again, Llanelli ball.
Inch by inch they're driving. Of course, this is taking a valuable time. Newbridge want to spread the ball because they're obviously points behind, but Llanelli keeping it tight. Good play by their skipper.
And a Newbridge man is injured. Kenny Waters, the Newbridge hooker.
And he's taken the brunt of that tremendous scrimmaging that Llanelli have been played over the last 2 or 3 minutes.
2 minutes of normal time, with perhaps the odd minute allowed because there have been 1 or 2 injuries in this second half.
You see, what I think Phil Davis is saying to himself, if we get 3 points, that will only make it 23-18, and a try conversion by Newbridge can still steal the match. So I think he's trying to say, let's get us 6 points to go clear, because it's vital, because Newbridge have looked so dangerous. They played magnificent rugby this afternoon. But that man, number 8, for me, has been outstanding, as he was here a few weeks ago against England. Very unlucky not to be on the Lions tour, but what a match. Both sides, cracking pace.
Scarlet supporters shouting for their team. They want the try. It really has been a fantastic game of rugby at the National Ground this afternoon.
And isn't it nice to see both sets of spectators from the 2 clubs mixing in and enjoying it.
So Waters has the necessary repairs inside the last minute. It's Jonathan Griffiths goes, he barges through. Jonathan Griffiths scores for Llanelli, his 18th try of the season. And that has surely sealed it for Llanelli, the cup holders. It was always going to come from that constant pressure by a marvellous Llanelli scrummage.
Yes, I told her there, and there it is, you see. They've been arming at the line. Again, they didn't go forward from this one, but Griffiths so strong. Look, 5 metres. Paul Turner's got no chance. Get out the way. You're not going to stop me. And he's over. That sealed the match, all right. And from the other angle, look at Griffiths. So determined, so strong. Exactly like a David Bishop on a Holmesy. And he's over.
Colin Stevens. The flags go up, the conversion is there, and Stevens makes it 26 points to 18.
Yes, and to be fair to Llanelli, Newbridge have been quite outstanding this afternoon, but you have to say Llanelli have scored 4 tries to Newbridge's 1.
Eight points separate the sides. Turner. Change of tactic this time. Aiming for the big man, Sutton. James drives on, but it's Eddie James who got the kick in.
Once his hookers start kicking, you can't stop them, you know.
Waters to the back, aiming for Taylor. Gary Jones lays the ball back. Griffiths. Stevens does the sensible thing, aims the long kick downfield. Cool head this time from Stevens. On the halfway line. Phil Davis got a hand to it, but it's on the Newbridge side. Lewis. Turner feeding the ball out. Manley looks back inside. The pass was slightly forward, but play on, says the referee. Newbridge attacking. Turner looking for support. It comes from David Rees. Rees stretching his legs back inside. Peter Thomas, crunching tackle from Jonathan Griffiths. Terry Shaw in the movement again. The front row is up there. Simon Jenkins. Newbridge on the charge. Tremendous play from the Black and Blues. Hemi Taylor charging into Phil Davis. Penalty against Llanelli.
Absolutely great play by Newbridge with their forwards to the fore again. Terry Shaw, one cap against Romania, but he has been quite magnificent this afternoon. Lesser sides than Newbridge might have thrown the towel in, but not them. They've never conceded a thing this afternoon. Now just look for the support there. Just watch the play. Now here's where I think that Turner's struggling. You'll see he gets the ball in acres of space, but he really hasn't got the legs to go, but he's looking for support, and there's a lovely looping round by David Rees, the adventurous full-back. But for me, it's been the support play of the forwards. Just watch, there's the centre doing well, but look at the men who come to support. There he is, the second row, Terry Shaw. There again is the prop forward. Look, good forward skids, good handling. If the All Blacks were doing that, we'd be saying what great handling ability they had. Newbridge is showing tremendous play in that facet this afternoon. Looking for the ball, making it available. I think they should have spun it here, but Emmy Taylor had another go.
Just over 3 minutes of injury time played. Turner, the cheeky little pass up towards Llanelli's goal line. Can Newbridge get the try they want? Seconds ticking away. Newbridge ball. Buchanan, Eddie James the replacement, and Lawrence Delaney. They'll be tired after this. It's been hot out there, and the game has been played at such a fierce pace.
And look at the position that Newbridge are in. Look, meters from the line here. What would happen if they got a try and converted it, and they'd be right back in the game with possibly seconds left.
Injury to Phil Davis, the Llanelli captain. Well, he's certainly earned whatever refreshment the players will have at the end of this match. He's been everywhere. Time running out for Newbridge. It's 26 points to 18. Llanelli are leading. 4 minutes of injury time played. Taylor with the pick-up to Lewis. Lewis going for the try. Richard Lewis scores for Newbridge. A marvellous try. Richard Lewis, the scrum half, brings the scores to within 4 points. Turner with the conversion. 26 points to 24. There's just 2 points in it. 2 points, and Clive Rawling just has a quick look at his watch, and absolute despair and disappointment on the face of Paul Turner, because the whistle has gone for the end of a marvellous game of rugby, and Llanelli, the cup holders, are through to the 8th cup final. Llanelli absolutely exhausted. They were stretched to the limits by a tremendous display from Newbridge. Nobody gave Newbridge the odds of bringing the cup holders to within just the 2 points they eventually lost by. Phil Davis tired, Phil May tired, Russell Cornelius. But it's Llanelli who go through to the final in May. Llanelli winning here on the national ground by 26 points to 24. Well, every one of them is a hero for Llanelli. Colin Stevens, Phil May, he took bumps early in the match. Phil Davis ran his heart out on the turf this afternoon.
Exhausted Phil Davis going off the field there. Hey, let's pay tribute to the 32 men, the 30 players, the 2 subs, and let's pay tribute to Clive Rawling for one of the great games of all time.
Terry Shaw, the try scorer. Disappointment on the Newbridge faces, and Clive Rawling played his part in a game that many of us will remember for a long time. So Llanelli are through to the final.